Gentlemen, it's 7 o'clock on a Thursday. It's field day somewhere. We are live. We are resilient. We are war. And I'm with my co-host, Michael Geary of Hellfish Haven, founder and executive director. My name is Travis Parrington, host of Oscar Mike Radio and Marine Corps veteran. And we have a full card of guest action-packed show tonight. We have 22 Mohawks, Stacy and Dave, excuse me, from 22 Mohawks joining us. Welcome to We Are Resilient, Stacy and Dave, or Dave Stacy, however you want to say it. It's kind of like a first and last name, like David Stacy or Stacy David. I don't know. But anyway, we are here tonight. We're having a good time. Join me in the chat and welcome.
Awesome. Thanks for having us. I think that's we are one, Dave and Stacy, Stacy Dave. So I think that makes sense that that's what you said. So I appreciate the intro very much.
We've got Stephen Russell checking in. Stephen, how are you doing, brother? So 22 Mohawks. Now, when I think of a Mohawk, I don't think of the word 22 with Mohawks, and I don't have any hair to have a Mohawk. So, where did the 22
that's
Mohawk?
sad. That's a shame. That's a shame.
Well, there's nothing there to work with, let me tell you. But how did 22 Mohawks? What is it? How to get started? What do you all do?
Yeah. So we started back in March of 2020. I had found out about a good friend of mine, John Hatfield. I served with him in the 82nd Airborne. He ended up dying by suicide, but I didn't find out about his suicide until about 2 years after I got out of the Army. So I kind of lost contact with John. He was pretty much my best friend in service, and then we lost him. So I shaved a mohawk in my head, posted a picture on social media, and said, hey, if anyone else gets a mohawk, post it on social media, hashtags 22 mohawks. I'll donate $100 per mohawk to Mission 22. And we ended up getting some pretty good numbers. A lot of my friends got mohawks. Some random people, some kids got mohawks, and I ended up donating some money to Mission 22. But that was in like March of 2020. Obviously the number 22 is the average of veterans that die by suicide every day. I think we all can agree that the number is probably higher than that. But the Mohawk represents the stigma. It represents the veteran, the person that's not afraid to take risks. Most veterans aren't afraid to take risks, right? Run into the fire, right? So when you see a Mohawk, it represents suicide prevention, suicide awareness, kind of like the ice bucket challenge. I was trying to think of something that would create excitement and create kind of like a viral thing, like, hey, an action item, like, hey, I'm gonna go get a mohawk. And I was actually riding on a mountain bike ride with my buddy Josh, actually on Blue Hills in Massachusetts. I kind of came up with the idea for this, and it's interesting enough. I'm actually with Josh right now. But yeah, no, that's how it all started. We lose people we care about, and it sucks that that's what kind of triggered this 22 Mohawks to come to fruition. But it ended up, a couple good things is that we've done some dogs, and that's how I kind of reconnected with Stacy. So that's one of the big positives. But Stacy, did I miss anything?
No, kind of my part in that is Dave and I went to junior high and high school together. And when I saw him, like the picture I just showed you guys, when I saw him posting on social media, he served 16 years in the Army, and we stayed connected on Facebook and stuff. And in 2009, I'm a civilian. My dad was a Coast Guard veteran. In 2009, he died by suicide, which up until I think there was like one girl I knew in high school, her dad had actually died by suicide. But other than that, I didn't know anybody, that had died by suicide. And so when I saw Dave post that he spoke about and said, get a mohawk and I'll donate money to a larger organization, I went ahead and got a mohawk too and joined in with him, and that's how we reconnected, and that's kind of how we all got started.
What a fascinating story that you all met in high school, and years later you all are supporting each other in this endeavor. I guess my first question is, a lot of people tell me, hey, I know about the 22. I know about the 22. I mean, I'm tired of awareness. We've raised all this money. We've done all this stuff. When's the number going to start going down? And I'm just curious what your thoughts are on that, because I'm like, well, will we ever have it go to zero? I'm not sure, but people forget sometimes. So I'm just curious what your take is on that, if you've ever heard that before.
Yeah, like it's really hard to measure what programs are successful, right? Like what's going to prevent a veteran from dying by suicide, right? Like how do you measure that, right? You really can't, right? The VA comes out with their reports every year, and the numbers, there's somewhere between 6 and 6,500 per year, and everyone comes up with all these good ideas of how they're gonna, prevent veteran suicide and stuff. But I think just doing something is better than doing nothing, right? So like we give dogs to vets. We've just done our 103rd dog, right? So I can tell you that dogs definitely save lives. And there's been 4 instances over the past 4 months where we've had 4 of our veterans that we've given dogs to call us to come pick up their dog because they were going to kill themselves. And they called us. They were like, "Hey, can you come get my dog?" Same scenario every time. And we said, "Sure, we'll come get it, but let's get you the help first." And obviously the conversation was a little bit more intense than that, but we ended up getting these veterans the help they needed, whether it was getting the paramedics to their house or getting the police to their house to kind of get them to the VA or their local hospitals to save their lives. And the reason why I can confirm that we did save their lives because each one of them after said that, "Hey, I was in really bad shape. I know you did what you had to do when we called, but thank you for saving my life." And I think that you're right. I think you're right by saying, Travis, that it's probably never going to be zero, but it's never going to be zero in any demographic.
Sure.
But but we all have to come together and do something to like protect our people, our families.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Now, have you guys had experience like in those scenarios using the Mass Behavioral Health Line? We've had the folks from the Mass Behavioral Health Line helpline on here and discussing the assets that they have on top of 988 and the other VA resources that are out there. So just curious as to what type of response that you guys have had success with that you could share with other veterans that may need crisis in the future.
Yeah, I mean, I think if any veteran like needs help, they should 98 or call the Mass Health Line for sure. For our experience, when someone calls us, just how close we are with the people, usually we try to own that and make sure that
Mm-hmm.
we see that veteran all the way through to whatever it is they need. They just need to bro it up on the phone with us, no matter how long they actually need us to get them, clinical help. We actually have a doctor on staff, Dr. Tara Kafori, who we refer a lot of our people to. So if our vet needs like more of a clinical view, we will send them right to Tara, and Tara will call them right away and kind of handle it that way. But that's kind of our experience. But like to your point, Mike, I think you're right. I think any veteran that needs to call like the 988, it's just easy to remember with a Mass Helpline. I think it's important that they do that.
Stacy, a lot of civilians ask me, I didn't serve. I didn't serve. I didn't, march. I didn't wear a uniform. I didn't do any of that stuff. And I hear the term imposter syndrome, and and they want to help. They like hanging out with us. We're generally, great people to hang out with overall, but they feel a sense of like imposter syndrome or like, do I really belong here? And I'm curious from your perspective, how do you serve in this capacity and show us the veterans that you really do care? Because a lot of times, if I don't think you're a veteran, I'm not going to open up to you, if that makes sense.
It does make sense. And I think just for where I stand as the person that I am, I'm a very welcoming, kind of loving, like when you come into 22 Mohawks, we're badass, but we're like, bring it in, let's get a hug, right? I've been through a lot in my life. Yes, I never served, but I've been through my own wars that were pretty significant. And I think just my experience in wanting to help people, and then what I've gone through with my father. So in his case, there wasn't enough resources, love, or anything that could have been put on the table that would have saved his life. That's kind of the path he was headed on, and that's the reality of it. So going through that specifically and having him had served, even until I got into 22 Mohawks, I didn't fully understand. I think for civilians, a lot of us, unless we're in that world, we have an idea of what a soldier is or a veteran or, this person, right? But we really don't know until you start to hear these stories and the in-depth and the the consistency and the repetitiveness of, you know, what these men and women coming to us have for stories, right? And I think a lot of times people do assume, I think, that I'm a veteran and kind of just flow with that until they find out that I'm not, and I get that often. But I think when you come into our doors and when you come into 22 Mohawk for any reason, you just know that you're accepted. You know that we don't care where you've been, what you've been through. You know, you're in a safe place. You're in a family here, and we just kind of support in any way. So I've never had any issues. Like I go down to the jump in Florida. One of our programs is our parachute retreat, and I go down there, and I was just like, I'm like just one of the people, right? So I think sometimes we just fit in. But to that point too, is we get veterans that come in here that have the same thing. They're like, I didn't do this. I didn't, you know, see war like you did, or I did. They almost have imposter syndrome, even though they don't. Oh, I don't deserve those benefits. I don't, you know. So I think it can come from any angle, and I think it's really just the person's perception that's putting that outward, right? Because at the end of the day, we're all people, and we're just here trying to help each other.
Sure.
Now the jump program you guys were just talking about. Do you guys want to explain that a little bit more, like the jump school? I don't know what you guys call it exactly, but I know that a couple guys that I know have gone and have not stopped talking about it ever since they got back. Now one is in the chat now, Steve Joyce. You know, he's absolutely loved it, and been very excited since connecting with you guys, and just want to explain that to the.
Do you want to do it, Dave, or you?
Yeah. So the jump we do twice a year. We fly down about 20 veterans to Florida, Denellen, Florida, where they go through an abbreviated Army Airborne School, and it's a static line parachute. So they do it's like 6 days, 2 days ground school, 3 days jumping, and all these guys are from all over the United States, all different backgrounds, all different branches. I can tell you that probably out of the 20 or so guys that show up, there's usually like one or two that are actually already airborne qualified. The rest are just new jumpers. So it's really cool that like a lot of these guys didn't jump before, and they're like, you know what, I'm gonna jump. And so we go to Denellen. We have a huge Airbnb where.
Nope, and he's gone. Let me pick up where he left. So, so it's the our airborne course and retreat is absolutely epic. So Dave was airborne in the Army, and he loves adrenaline rush, right? So he was like, we started a tandem parachute jump. That's kind of how the airborne community started for us. We started a tandem jump once a year. We do it, and we're looking to expand that to all 50 states on the first weekend of September. But from that, he was like, all right, well, we met up with Ayman Kathel. He's on our board. He's a police officer veteran, and he knew some people in this community down in Florida, and was like, hey, like we can do this week-long airborne retreat. Let's go try it out. So we went down there, and we go to X-35 area. Have 5 days, 6 days. We get to bring 20 veterans down. They do a lottery, so we have over 100 people waiting right now. They go on our website, they sign up for the lottery, pick leads. So we've also opened up to first responders too. So it's definitely first responders. Basically, we pull the names.
It's not auto.
People are responsible for their own flight down there. And the reason for that is because we get people that bail last minute. We also need more funding for these things, right? Because they are, a hefty price to bring people down there. So we have people get their own flights down there. Once we get down there, like Dave said, we have this huge, awesome Airbnb, which creates this amazing community. Stephen Joyce can touch on that. Lou's on here. Lou came down to us. And basically that between the jumps, they get like 3 days of ground school. And then they get 2 jumps out of a Cessna, and then they get 3 jumps out of a C-47. What we've used the last couple times is the Tico Bell, which is one of the planes that the guys jumped into Normandy on. This is I went on the plane. I've done one tandem jump. I'm a pussy. I'm like, that's it. I'm done. One tandem jump's enough for me. I don't want to go on the out of that. So, but basically, I'll go up on the plane with them, and it's absolutely an experience that I can't even put into words. Like knowing where that plane's been and the history behind it. And then having these guys, we get guys that come from Sweden, Mexico, all over the place, right? Some of these guys are older, like old timers. They'll be dressed up in like their World War II uniforms, and like just the feeling and the togetherness, and like it's indescribable, but it's an absolutely epic time. So they get 3 jumps out of that. And then basically once we have the vet center down there, so we're able to do one-on-one and group mental health sessions. We have a gentleman that's a veteran. He does yoga for us in the mornings, so we pull that into it. We have a firearm safety course, and then we do a suicide prevention, some surveys and courses too. So it's not just, we always say it's not just the dog, it's not just a jump. It's really this amazing community. So now not only are you part of the 22 Mohawks family, but now you're part of this much larger airborne community that is like extensive, right? Like Lou went to Normandy, I think. Our girl Lou's on here. She met up with our people. She came to our jump. She's got an absolutely, she's just one of my favorite people. But she basically ended up going to Normandy with these guys. So it's again just creating like an even bigger community, more outlet, more resources. You know, it's pretty awesome. So if either you guys want to jump ever, you know, just let us know.
I'm pretty good on the ground myself.
I want to do it, but you know, it's the old like, why jump out of a perfectly good airplane? You know, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I
You're
want to
thinking
do it.
on it. I feel you teeter in there. I don't know.
I bungee jumped before, and that was pretty cool. And,
My third date with my wife was skydiving. So we went up to Pepperell and jumped out. And the whole time I'm like, just like as soon as I got out of the plane, I was like, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this?
You're like, I hope I make it. The third date. No, but we jump out of Pepperell. That's where we do our tandem. Every September we're in Pepperell.
nice. Russell says 18 jumps.
And just as a testament to our program, so Stephen Joyce on here, give Stephen a huge shout out. So he comes down and he helps us with the jumps. But Stephen, the way Stephen got connected, Stephen Joyce, to us is he won the tandem jump, one of our tandem jumps, right? And he's like, did I really win? I've never won anything. Like, I don't know, you know? And I'm like, yeah, bring the family, come on down. So he comes down there, he's wearing like a fake tuxedo shirt. I'm like, who the hell is this guy? He's got like all these kids with him and like there's like the whole, literally he brought his entire family. And I'm like, geez, this was what, like a year ago? It feels like forever, Stephen. But now Stephen has gotten a dog from us. So he's part of our Pups for Vets and First Responder program. He got a dog from us, a beast, a majestic beast, I like to call it. It's a Ridgeback Doberman. He also came down to our airborne course and retreat, and he's been back. So once you do the retreat, you can come back as a strap hanger. So you can still come back and jump with us again. Obviously, you're responsible to get yourself down there. If we have extra rooms or whatever we can finagle, we'll do that. And you pay a really small reduced price, and you get to just jump because you don't have to take the ground school. You're already current for your jumping, so you get to come back there and jump. And we have so many guys that do that, you know, which is again the true test.
Stephen Russell, third PIR, right? Parachute Infantry Regiment. I was first of 325. So airborne, my friend. Sorry to note there. I just wanted to comment.
Absolutely. Always welcome.
But,
And now I linked up with you guys last year. We started talking back and forth online, what we could do. And then you guys got your headquarters there in Sharon 3 months ago?
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah, maybe it was a little longer. I can't even remember. Dave, when did we get the building here? I can't remember.
it was that like August, September timeframe.
Yeah.
wow, time's flying by.
It's 2 Commercial Street. You're going to be down here Saturday. So we have the game night, huge plug. Haven's coming down. We're going to do the game night here Saturday. So anybody in the vicinity wants to come down Saturday night, we're going to have a game night, bring the family. 2 Commercial Street in Sharon. We're just like about a mile or so down the street from Gillette Stadium. So right on Route 1, super convenient. It's a really great space down here. We have dog training on Sundays. We have yoga every Tuesday night with the Warrior Within Yoga Project. She's amazing, the woman who runs that. If you see those pop-ups, they're all over the place. So anybody who sees one of those yogas in their area, definitely jump in on it. And then every Wednesday night we do a Operation Veteran Link Up. We do different things. We'll watch a movie, have tacos, do pizza, whatever, people can bring their dogs down for that. So we have a bunch of different things happening. We have the DAV comes in every 3rd Tuesday of the month to help with any claims or if anybody has any issues in that area. We have a really great guy. He comes down and squares people away. So we're trying to just give back in all the ways.
So yeah, I was going to ask you, you know, how how are you all adjusting in 2024 to new mission focuses or initiatives? But it sounds like, you have a base of operations, and if someone is willing to provide or help out, they're welcome, and that's what it seems like.
Yeah, definitely. We have lots of opportunities for different things. People helping out with the dog program. We have a bunch of community fundraising events. We have a partnership with the Boston Bruins Foundation. So we have a huge event that the virtual portion of it starts tomorrow. And then there's a day of event on the 28th of January at the TD Garden, which is pretty cool. We'll have a table down there doing free mohawks all day. Anybody wants to come get their hair buzzed off. And it's a fundraising event. There's a lot of other, like Home Base is one of the nonprofits in there. A lot of fundraising. Nonprofits for firefighters and police are there. It's a really cool event. So we have that. And we have a lot of other, we just had a comedy night. We have a really great event coming up June 1st. It's a litter carry event. So it's going to be, I think, 23 teams or more. Dave knows the logistics on it. But basically there's going to be 3 people to a team, and they're going to be carrying litters with 130 pound, 40 pound, I forget what it is, the Rescue Randy dummies for 4 miles. So it's going to be in Millis, Mass. It's going to be a pretty great event. We did a test run with it. It's definitely going to put people through the ringer, but it'll be good.
So we got Doug Machado from W.A.R Studio, and he's asking, he's an Army veteran, and he's asking how can he get his nonprofit involved with you all?
With us specifically, or was he talking about the BFIT? Or basically just reach out to us. Our infos, our numbers and emails are on the website. Hit us up. You can also, all of our social media handles are 22mohawks. So 22mohawks with an S, and you can DM us. Dave and I run both the pages on there, and we're super easy to get in touch with. So just give us a holler, and we'll see what we can do.
All right, you got a good copy on that one, so that's good.
And did you want to talk about the BFIT connection too that you were talking about earlier with us in the green room about
the help
out?
So what we're doing is we want to be able to bring as many resources and bring as many people together as possible, right? So we have this amazing opportunity where the Boston Bruin Foundation came to us and asked us last year if we wanted to be one of the host charities for their BFIT event, which is based on police, firefighters, EMTs, so first responders, veterans, military, and just the community. It's a fundraising event where people sign up and choose their charity of choice, right? Everybody who signs up asked to raise $300 for the charity that they choose. And this is like their 8th year running it. And then there's a huge day of event at the TD Garden where people run the stairs, right? So it's not about the challenge of running the stairs. It's more like the community building and the fundraising. And then people can be sponsors as well and be on the floor. Now you have about 1,700 people they expect this year. And there's a good portion of those are first responders and veteran community. So basically we wanted to be able to bring in other nonprofits that do similar stuff to us and help them out and let them be able to utilize the platform that we're so grateful to be able to use. So we're bringing people in, and if they want to be on the floor, so say Hellfish Haven wanted to come in and you guys wanted to have a table, I think the cheapest one is like $3,000 to get on the floor. I could be wrong, it could be a little less, but basically we're asking for 12%. If you're a nonprofit that services veterans or first responders, if it's a for-profit company, we can work something else out. But for the nonprofits, we ask that you provide us 12% and we cover the cost of the sponsorship so that you can get on the floor. And that way you'll be able to get your resources out to that community, whoever's there that day. And then we also let them raise money, and then we'll donate that money back to you, because we figure if you're out there hustling and bustling to raise money for your team, which essentially would come to us, it's as another nonprofit, right? You may not be able to do that and just raise the money for another nonprofit. So then we'll donate that money back to you, just because the people you're probably connecting with aren't even people that we'd be connecting with anyways, right? So kind of just like share the wealth, share the love there.
It was awesome.
So you have a lot of stuff coming up for 2024. You've had, challenges, of course, running a nonprofit, and some successes too. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work running a nonprofit. It's a lot of work, getting that support both financially and otherwise. But still, I got to ask, what's the best part about doing 22 Mohawks for you both?
I don't know if you can still hear us. Dave, you want to go?
I'm sorry, I missed the question. Say it one more time.
Yeah, what's the best part about doing 22 Mohawks for you?
For me personally, I like being around fellow vets. I feel like they all understand the shenanigans. It's, coming from that life to this life, and I feel like we all just have like that proverbial nod of approval. It's kind of really important to me to be around people who are like-minded. I also work in corporate America, and it's a different beast. People don't understand our language, how we are, our jokes and stuff. So I think that's kind of my favorite part is just being around vets and giving back to them.
Sure.
For me, it's just basically bringing in this family community, right? I'm like, I know you guys don't personally know me, but I'm like, hi, I'm Stacy. I'm a hugger. Like, I just fucking love people. I do. And just the connections and the people that I like, losing my dad was like a really hard thing. Like, my dad was my best friend. He had his demons and he was a messed up dude, right? But that was my best friend. And before he died, he had been at the hospital, he'd been at the VA, he'd been, they knew he was suicidal, like they were like whatever. He was on some medications that didn't mix well. He had a drinking problem, he drank a lot, right? But like I said, there was like, unless somebody was going to be with him 24/7, there was just nothing, unfortunately, we could do there, right? And so for me, knowing firsthand, and like Dave had told you those stories earlier where people have come to us and been like, thank you for saving my life, right? Like there's nothing that can compare to that. And having this platform to give back, I had no idea my dad's passing would bring me to this place where, that's why I got involved. Would I have gotten a Mohawk otherwise? Maybe, maybe not. Like, I don't know. I like doing crazy things, but that's really the reason that when I saw Dave's post, I wanted to get involved. But the people that we meet, and again, the 22 Mohawks family, like they're our family. Like I care deeply and love everybody who comes into our community, and these people that stay around and reach out to us. Stephen can testament to that. Carlos, Lou, our girl Jess, like these people know that they can call us and that we're here for them, and vice versa. Like they call to check in on me. So just having that larger range of people that you can count on, and they're your people, is just something that's invaluable, I guess. And there is a lot of work. We're a smaller organization doing extraordinary things. It's really just myself, Dave, Kylie. We have Dr. Kapori and Ian here. We have a handful of people, and Dave's, going to school full time, working a full time job. People don't realize the amount of hours he puts into, trying to figure out how to write grants, trying to do these things. Like there's a crazy amount of stuff that goes into this. The marketing. I'm doing all the marketing. I'm not a marketing person, right? Just learning all these ins and outs. But Dave likes to take risks and do things like get a building. He's like, it's going to happen. Build it and they'll come, right? So we've just been really blessed, and I think the people that see what we're doing know that their funding and their donations are going to a good place. So we've just been really blessed thus far.
All right.
And it's good to see, like, veteran organizations getting a brick and mortar spot and having another location to go for vets, with so many legions and VFWs and, like organizations, closing their doors and shutting down, and becoming paper posts. There's not a lot of places for veterans to go. And so it's nice to see, an organization opening up a place to go instead of, closing it down.
Yeah, it breaks my heart. We actually, there was a local VFW, I can't remember which post it was, that donated to us. Dave might remember which one. But basically, like, this is these guys' lives, man. And they had like a sprinkler issue, right? And their place got shut down. Like, they raised all this money,
It
team.
was,
They
it was like
put money
Tewksbury,
in.
I think. Tewksbury.
Tewksbury, right. Yeah, great guys down there. And they're like operating their meetings out of like a back end of a bar in a room somewhere, right? Because like they couldn't afford, like, who's helping them? Like, what the hell is going on here? Like their sprinkler, like this was these guys' lives, and they're trying to get, younger people in. And that's something we in a bigger vision too. It's like, how can we get in? Because we have people in other states. We have 22 Mohawks, Illinois, which is Floyd Dunn has that going off. I saw a gentleman on here from New Jersey. We have a guy down. We have Ralph down in New Jersey. So one of our jumps, we had a dad and his two sons come, and his two sons are active duty. And Ralph Beltre, he's in New Jersey, so we've partnered with him, and he's doing stuff for 22 Mohawks out of his VFW down there. We've partnered with a dog place down there, so we can do dogs down there more readily. But I think just finding the right people in the right places to help out. But again, it breaks my heart to go in and see these places just like closing down because nobody's giving them the support they need.
All right. Anything else, Mikey? Or
I mean, the big thing is, I'm thankful that we'll be able to do the game night on Saturday, and again, anybody that wants to come down is welcome. It's a family, can come down, play. We're gonna have PlayStation 5, Nintendo Switch, board games, card games. We're gonna have it all set up. My favorite, Jenga. Sit there and just wait till you get sweaty enough where you're pulling it and you're hoping not to knock it down and doing your best. And it's just it's great seeing organizations work together. There's too many organizations in this veteran community that are cutthroat and that are we're our own worst enemies in some sorts. And there's a lot of stepping on, and that's one of the things that we've tried here with with W.A.R is keeping it positive and shining the light on other organizations, and not just not just keeping it inward, letting it go outward, and show all the good that can be out there. And I feel like that's one thing that you guys are definitely doing, and we want to highlight that you guys are working with multiple organizations on multiple fronts, and that collaboration is something that others can inspire to be like.
Love that. Yeah, definitely. There's an epidemic out there, and more people need to just join hands. It's like there's enough of whatever is out there to go around for everybody. So just bringing it in together is really what's going to make the difference. So we appreciate you saying that.
And Travis, what do you have coming up next?
We'll just forward you that. I just want to say, thank you, Stacy and Dave, for coming by and talking with us. We learned a lot from each conversation, and we hope all of our, viewers, some of these people, Stacy, are not from around here at all. They're different parts of the country. And so just thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to talk with us. We really appreciate it.
And you guys said too, folks can come in from outside of the state to be able to go on these jumps and things like that.
Yeah, so we've done dogs in a plethora of states. I mean, we have people out in Washington, we have people out in, we have people down in Florida, we have people out in New Jersey. So basically we'll service anybody anywhere. Just like and if we can't, we'll find somebody who can. But the jump is a lottery. So right now we have over 100 people on the wait list, and we only advertised it like twice. So basically there's a long waiting list for that. We'll reopen that because we'll go down again in September. So we'll reopen that after this jump. The next jump is in March. And then once that's over with, we'll reopen the lottery. People can put their name in. We'll draw the names. People can come from anywhere, but people are responsible for their own flight. We take care of everything. We take care of lunch the whole time. We take care of one dinner, and then we take care of the Airbnb, the flight school, and all that. So basically they have to get their flight down there. And everything else is taken care of pretty much. And again, that weeds out. We've had people last minute bailing on us, and that's taking from a spot that, somebody else could be in, so it's important to have some stake in the game there.
Awesome. Well, thanks again. Next up at 8 o'clock on Oscar Mike Radio, I talked to Dana Spain and Jessica Baker from Veterans Villages. Jessica served in the Navy. She was a P-30 Orion pilot, and Dana is a civilian, and they, out of the Philadelphia area, are working on a modular home system to end veterans homelessness right here on Oscar Mike Radio, and can't wait to have people learn about their outreach. So again, we are resilient. We are W.A.R. It is if you got hair, you can get a mohawk or just be there in spirit, but we really appreciate you all coming on and talking with us.
No, thank you. We appreciate it.
We do. And just one last plug for the game night here. So
who plays Mario Kart, Stacy? Who's the Mario Kart pro from 22 Mohawks? Because Mike says he's the ultimate king of it.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure. Did you get wind that somebody was a Mario Kart pro? Maybe it's Stephen Joyce. He's probably up for the battle. I don't know.
Okay, we'll find out.
We'll keep you posted.
The wife is currently ahead of me in the series that we're playing. She's like 7, and I'm only 1 right now. But I'm that 1 is making a comeback.
There's always time.
It's not over till it's over.
Oh, Stephen Joyce says it's on.
Sorry about that.
No worries.
Wrong button there for a second. All right, Steven, what did you say? Is he going to play?
He says
It's
it's
on like Donkey Kong.
Excellent. So, Steve, I hope to see you out there. Anybody else that's in the area of Sharon on Saturday evening, feel free to come out, join us for the event, and we'll just be we'll have information for veterans, for other programs that are out there, the different apps that are available through the VA. We'll have some swag to give away, and then also if anybody needs work on their claims or appeals, we have that capability as well. So
I like smack talking's going down already right here, Mikey.
absolutely.
Lou to you and Stephen Joyce are like on it. Let's go.
All right, and we're gonna have we got the little steering wheels for the Switch, so that way you can get the real feel of the Mario Kart. So
we got the big
Cool.
screen TV down here too. We can hook that up as well.
Excellent. Well, thank everybody for coming out tonight. Again,
Thanks
we
for
are WAR, Oscar Mike Radio, Hellfish Haven, and tonight we've had 22 Mohawks with us. 22mohawks.com for more information. The events calendar has all the programs that they were talking about tonight. Travis, again, what do you have coming up next?
Dana and Jessica from Veterans Villages talking about modular homes to help in veterans homelessness.
Excellent. So stay tuned at 8 for Oscar Mike Radio, and thank everybody for joining the stream tonight. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye. Thanks.